welcome along. This is Virtual Farmer, and in this video we're going to be having a look at Sobolewo. This is a Polish map. It's a fictional Polish map created by Tomix. It is available cross-platform, so PC, Mac, PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series S and X. And yeah, but everything I've seen of this, I've driven my car over here from the shop, and everything I've seen of this so far is it looks like to be a nicely detailed map. We've got lots of stuff integrated into it. Seems to be very positive, my initial impression of this map. We will have a quick look at the PDA before we go driving off anywhere. So we've got quite a wide range of fields, lots of very thin fields on this, with some very square setups. I mean, these ones here, or very rectangular square corners on it. There are a few fields with a little bit of a more odd shape, but it's a very long, thin field setup map on this. So if you like your fields long and thin, then yeah, this looks like a great map for you. Most expensive field I found was field 13 at 410,688, while the cheapest field I found was field 143 up here, or farmland 143 at 15,384. So fair amount of difference between the two. Neither of them are overly expensive. Under $500,000 for even the biggest field on here means that this is a good small to medium equipment map, I think. Looking at all these fields, and we'll see this, I think, when we drive around, the whole map is very... there's a lot of customizability to these fields. I think you'll be able to put a lot of these fields together, make bigger fields, and farm it slightly different. So I think some large stuff could be done on here, and the tracks, the farm tracks around this map kind of suggest that as well. But we'll have a look at that in a minute. On to the production chains, and unfortunately, my biggest bugbear with so many maps that have been released for Farming Simulator 25 so far is a lack of productions. And this map again is a map that doesn't seem to have a huge number. Well, it doesn't have a huge number of productions built into it. We got a sawmill and we got carpentry, and that's it. No windmill, no grain mill, no oil mill, no sugar production, no bakery, nothing like that. And to me, that's a little bit of a disappointment here, because, well, we'll get to that when we drive around a little bit. There is kind of a preview to this, because look at all these buildings. Look at the towns that are built into this, with so much space to build this stuff. I can't see a BGA from there. We may come across a BGA as we drive around this map. I don't see anything down any of the end roads down there. We do have a train on this map, so we'll go and have a look at that in a minute. But yeah, with two really nice towns built into this map, it's a pity that there's not more characters built into them with a production. There is one production here, and you can see it. That is the sawmill. There is nicely a warehouse in here, and we'll go and have a look at that in a moment. Yeah, I'm slightly disappointed by the fact that the productions don't seem to be built into this map. The main farmyard, really nice. Great little farmyard here. Nice and tight. We've got some nice, I think these are base game barns, but they fit into this map really well. This is the thing. It's a Polish map, so being Eastern European, there's plenty of ability to put stuff from Zielonka into this map. And that again adds to my frustration at the lack of productions on here. But unlike previous, I'm not going to go on about the productions in here. We might mention them a bit while we're driving around town. What we do have on this map, which I've added in, is a brand new vehicle to drive around it. Yes, we have a Land Rover Defender. I've been working on this, improving a mod that I found. And now we have something that we can drive around the map in. So let's head out. We're gonna head, I think the way we'll head is sort of out this way first and have a look at all these dots that we've got on the right hand side here. We do, now this is interesting. Oh no, this is where it is going to annoy me. This is a dairy, and this is not just any dairy. This is a base game dairy model with all of the production stuff stripped out of it. That is actually really disappointing. I'm very, very disappointed by that. It's a dairy. It could so easily have been production. If you wanted to rework it slightly so that, you know, everything was on this side, that would have been possible. And if we're gonna come across a lot of that on here, that is gonna disappoint me hugely with this. We've got a sell point for what looks like sugar beet over here. Is that what this is? Or is that potato? That's potatoes. So that's a potato sell point here. This here is the warehouse. So a warehouse has been put in and has been reworked. I believe the purchase point for the warehouse is over here, which is what this is. So yeah, we do have a warehouse on here with all the productions and everything built into it to output. But yeah. Oh, I kind of hoped that wasn't going to be a thing when I came in and saw that. But yeah, that's a stripped out production, which is almost worse. We've got an actual production here, though. This is the sawmill. We've got Noah standing there, and I really quite like that. That's a great little sawmill there. Really nicely done. Yeah, I would have loved more of that. More of that kind of character in here would have been brilliant. We then have a bale sell point and a slurry. Oh no, a slurry and manure purchase point and a bale sell point around the back here. And then this would appear to be a custom animal market with Katie standing outside the front of it, which is fantastic. There's a lot of character around this. A lot of the town is built really nicely, and I do love the look of it. It's great. You've got a starting field over that side over there, the brown field there. That is field 14. That is a starting field on New Farmer for you. And then if we come back out this way, we're back into the town with, yeah, a really nice set of buildings and a lot of stuff in here. We've got what appears to be another farmyard. It looks like we might have multiple farmyards. Let's have a look. No mention of multiple farmyards in the setup. And no ability to buy it, but that is definitely looks like a farmyard. Oh, I think, do you know what? This is, I know what this map is going to be. I'm driving around it a little bit. And this feels very much like a very pretty map. That is a map full of missed opportunities. That's 3 farmyards now, or 3 areas I've driven past in that town, which are possible starting yards that cannot be used as such. And that saddens me. That takes a whole load of flexibility out of this map straight away. I mean, it's gorgeous. I'm loving the look of this map, and we'll go and have a look at the river in a minute if I can find a roadway down to it. It looks really lovely. I mean, there's a lot of work that's gone into the detail of this map. But I'm just driving past places that I'm kind of going, oh, that could have done that. See, there's another yard built sort of there that would work nice with a good yard at the back. Oh, man. So much of this is built really nicely. Oh, we do have, by the looks of it, we had an NPC back this way. See, that's the thing. I couldn't see the NPC, and it seems to be at this place here. This is not a sell point? No, this doesn't open. So why do I have a yellow? Oh, over here. Yeah, we do. So he's sort of off here, but there's a yard in there, and oh man. Yeah, it is a map of missed opportunities, and unfortunately that is gonna be, I think, my title on this, because it is. I love the look of this. I love the detail that's got into this. How beautiful this map looks is incredible, and then it's just sort of been hobbled by that, which is a pity. We've got a church over that way. We're going to head up the top of the map, and then we'll come back down here and look at the sell points and everything. There's no, as I said, there's no real productions or anything there, so it's just looking at sell points. We got what looks like a quarry area there, which I don't know if anything. I mean, putting a lime station or something in there. There are lime stations on this map, and putting something like that in the quarry would have been quite cool. Or putting somewhere where you could load lime up in there would have been quite cool. We've got a train station here, edge of the map. Edge of the map actually looks pretty good. There is something lined up with just looking over the top here. There is something lined up, and the edge of the map is not overly obvious, so I like that a lot. We've got a railway station here with a coolable train as well, so I'm liking that. That is pretty awesome. There are some very nice things on this map, some extremely nice things on this map, but it's for the overall feel of it, it does feel a little bit incomplete, unfortunately. And yeah, and it is that whole missed opportunities thing. The scope of it, the look of it is incredible. I just absolutely gorgeous map. Now this here looks like a farmyard, and I'm hoping against hope this is a farmyard. It is purchasable, so area 64 is purchasable. These gates don't open, so I'm presuming that if I was to purchase this area, which is more money than I've got. Oh wow, that's actually the most expensive area on the map. We said earlier that nothing over 500,000. Yeah, Farmland 64, this little area here, which is another yard, that is 802. So you're going to pay quite a bit for that if you want to get that farmyard. And I think you have to open the gates to do it. And it is a cow yard looking at this. So, yeah, good to see that. The difference, of course, between that and the other bits we were looking at a moment ago is that the other bits weren't purchasable. So we know they weren't yards because you couldn't buy them. This is a yard because you can buy it, and yeah, it rather obviously looks like a bigger yard. So quite like that. It's a nice looking yard. It does go on quite a way, and it does have a really nice house attached to it. So there are options there. We've got an NPC here in the shop. We've also got a notice board, and we've got a sell point down the side here. Yeah, so sell point down the side of the shop. That works nicely. Custom sell points are always good to see. Then I'm going to come back round this way, and we'll head down the side here. And it looks like we got a cluster of sell points in here as well. Yeah, so we've got a barn in there. Not sure exactly what. Oh, that looks like a wood sell point. In fact, no, that's the carpentry, isn't it? This is our carpentry building here. Yep. So that's the carpentry production. This is a general sell point. And this is... Oh, this is the shop. So this is, yeah, I got the landy from here. So yeah, this is the shop as well. So yeah, it looks lovely. I cannot fault the look of this map, and we're gonna have a look in the woodland sections in a moment. I just want to have a look at this lake over here. Oh wow, oh wow. Okay, so this is this is not able to be used at the moment, which is interesting. because this is an interesting pond area, but it's all sealed off, so you can't go in there. I'm intrigued by that. That is a very, very interesting bit in there. And yeah, let's have a look at this forestry bit. So the only thing we haven't really looked at is what it's like under the trees. So let's have a run in here. We've got grass on the ground, but then the trees aren't very thick, so that is absolutely fine. We've got a bit of variation in the grass, but I think that's natural variation that sort of comes with laying this kind of grass down. Not many bushes in here, so it kind of looks like a lot of very low placed trees in here. Yeah, it's compared to the amount of detail on the outside, this feels again a little bit unfinished under here, as if there's not a lot of stuff going on. And these trees are really low in the ground. This may cause you problem if you try and cut any of these. I know in previous versions of Farm Sim, having trees that low in the ground has caused problems before. So yeah, I'd be very careful about cutting these trees if you want to clear this space. I would like to have seen a little bit more detail, I think, in the woodland areas. It's not as much as I'd hoped. So, and it seems to be like that. Also, our river is dry, but we do have water sound. So I'm guessing there's a little bit of a problem with the water level on here as well. Yeah, it's a little bit more detailed here and around this pond here. Oh, how does this? So it goes up to the dam here, and then we get nothing into the river. I wonder if this changes when the weather changes, when we get some rain. I'm not going to completely fault that. We do have water. We do have water sounds down there, even though there's no water in it. But I wonder if there's a mechanic in here that water level raises when you go and when it rains. That would be quite cool. It's a lovely looking map. There's a lot of detail in good places. It's even got the stalks from Zalonka in it. Hello, Stalk. Which is fantastic. There's a lot of detail, a lot of work gone into this. As I said, I cannot really fault the detail on most of this map. It is a nice looking map. It is a map I think that would be enjoyable to play. I think its longevity without those placeables in here is hampered because of that. I think the lack of all of the features of FS25 I always find to be a bit of a disappointment in a map. But yeah, if you're just looking to do the farming, then that's not a huge problem. I would like the placeables in here to add that character, and there are places I suppose where you could put those placeables, but it feels a little bit like you'll be sticking them in the middle and crowding everything. It's always nicer when they're planned, I think. Otherwise, yeah, gorgeous map, really lovely done. Lots of detail in it. I think from that point of view seems great. I think its multiplayer potential is a little bit hampered by the lack of being able to buy those areas that feel like farms. You could really nicely on this map have 4 or 5 of those buildings as farms. Have everybody start with their own little farm and then spread out around the map, which would be awesome on here. But because you can't buy those areas, that hampers that, which is unfortunate. So as I said, I think this is a gorgeous looking map. It does have several missed opportunities, unfortunately. So let's have a quick look at the vehicles that you start with. And our vehicle collection on here is not massive. We've got a Challenger MT 635, a FarmTech EDK 650, a Horsch Credo 3, a Horsch Versa, so that is a Power Harrow Cedar combination, a John Deere 3650, a Nock Crossmax 300 disc cultivator, a Nock Eco Cultivator 300, a Massey Ferguson MF 8570, combine with a header and a trailer. So very interesting set of equipment here. We've not got anything to deal with animals, which is fine. We have hours on it. Interestingly enough, we've got 81.4 working hours and an 88% condition on the Challenger. We've got 92.7 hours and 88% on the John Deere, 85 on the combine, with 79, well, 80 hours basically on the header, and 80 hours on the trailer. I like this. More of this on more maps, please. We've got a couple of new bits of equipment in here. Definitely would love to see hours on equipment when you on starting equipment. Always fantastic. Absolutely love that. I think we have a little bit of a duplication here between the two Nock pieces of equipment. Both of these basically do the same thing. So if you're looking to get a little bit of extra cash to start off with, probably sell the Eco Cultivator, get the extra 13, get the 13,000, and yeah, then you can use the Crossmax. But yeah, perfectly good set of equipment. Perfect for starting with the new farmer on here. With what you start with, because you don't start with a huge amount. You start with field 14 and field 133, as far as I can tell. I don't think there's anything else. Yeah, currently owned is just that, and that. So there's not a huge amount of farmland you have to start off with either. Oh, and in fact, 136 and 135 down here as well. So you start off with 4 fields in New Farmer, which is not bad at all. So yeah, I think it's a decent map, this one. It does look really nice. A lot of detail has gone into most of the map. I would like to see a little bit more detail in that woodland area, and I do worry a little bit about how those trees will cut. Unfortunately, it is another map that lacks the productions on it, and it's a pity because productions that would fit in this map exist without having to do the extra work, and I would love to have seen them in here, but they're not here. Yeah, go check this out. I think this would make a great start from scratch map. This little yard here is not expensive, and the fields aren't that expensive. I think you could get started very easily on start from scratch. New Farmer seems to be a good setup, and I think that it's multiplayer potential. I think if you've got the big farmyard, you could do a single farm multiplayer very nicely on here. Unfortunately, the lack of extra yards does hamper its multi-farm multiplayer a little bit, which is a pity because it has the fields for it. But let me know what you think down in the comments below, and I will see you on the next one. Thank you for watching. I hope that you've enjoyed this video. Please give it a like, drop us a comment, and give it a share. Huge thank you as well to all of my patrons and channel members. These videos are only made possible thanks to your support. If you want more from Virtual Farmer, please check out the videos on screen now, or subscribe for more. And I will see you next time.